Firebat was the first Hearthstone World Championship winner, and throughout his time playing Hearthstone, he was a great content creator. But around 2020, he stopped playing the game entirely. So I thought it'd be fun to show him cards he's never seen before and have him rate how good he thinks they are. If you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe. When was the last time you played Hearthstone, from what you can remember?
From what I can remember, last time I played Hearthstone was like Forged in the Barrens.
Forged in the Barrens. Okay, so that's 2021. So hold on, you didn't see Stormwind. Did you know Death Knight's in the game?
Oh, maybe I did see Stormwind. Do I know what's in the game?
Death Knight class?
Oh, yeah, I know Death Knight. Yeah.
Okay.
I actually was confusing Death Knight and Demon Hunter earlier when we were talking about it.
So I'm going to show you cards that have come out after you stopped playing the game. And what I want from you is for you to guess whether or not you think the card was good.
Okay. Perfect.
Every card in here is on the like really like probably good or bad. There's no like middle ground, like, oh, like if this card exists, whatever.
Oh, okay. So I should know. So if I get it wrong, I'm an idiot.
No, well, I mean, you haven't played the game in a while, so you'll be okay. I legitimately can't wait to see some of the reactions of this card. I was telling you a little bit before recording that the game philosophy has changed dramatically. And just to give you context, when Day 9 came back to do some stuff with me and for like advertising Hearthstone expansion, like he couldn't believe what the game became. So this will be extremely interesting to see what you think of some of these cards. I'm gonna show you the very first one.
Kill Jaden. 7 mana, 7/7. Vandal Cry. Replace your deck with an endless portal of demons each turn. Every turn, they gain an additional +2/+2. My gut instinct is this is too slow.
Okay. Why do you think that?
Because normally for like a 7-drop, I'm thinking Dr. Boom, stuff like that has immediate board impact.
Bro, we're way past Dr. Boom. You know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It has to have gotten faster since then. And I'm just comparing like, this is not a good tempo card. This is a value card, but it's a win condition. It's like you live, get to 7, play this. And then what? Now you gotta live and draw these demons. Also, these demons don't have battle cries, so if you lose the board, like they just twisting nether you and play something and get up 1 minion or something, so then all of a sudden you're just playing big idiots into the board and they're just going face.
They do have their battle cries if they have a battle cry. So like they draw into your hand with the additional stats. But the real reason for this is
they're not demons as in just like a vanilla golem type card. They're just they're random demons in the game.
There you go. Yeah, like whatever is in the standard rotate, I guess wild rotation as well, but whatever's in the standard pool of demons, that's what you're randomly drawing from. You're right that this is a lot like a value card. The question is this a good enough value card to run into your deck for like inevitability?
Well, yeah, historically things like this have had this sort of inevitability effect where you turn your stuff into random minions or whatever. The downside has been you lack the removal to do the tempo swing plays because Hearthstone is really all about removing their guy efficiently with like an execute or a shield slam or something, and then developing your own guy to get one thing ahead so that you can go face and they have to trade, etc. And if your whole deck is random demons, accomplishing that becomes difficult. So you have to get ahead and then stay ahead because you turn your board wipes into random demons. For that reason, I'm gonna say it's not seeing competitive play.
Not seeing competitive play. Okay. Well, Firebat, you're starting off wrong.
This card's good?
This card was good. I wouldn't call it like meta defining, but there are a lot of classes in this game. Like, I'm not showing you this in this video, but Warrior has a ridiculous amount of ways to get armor now, and Death Knight has the ability to gain over 30 life very consistently.
Okay.
So the tempo loss that you get, you lose obviously for playing Kill Jaden is made up quite substantially because not only are you dying the following turn, but you just cleared the board and now you have inevitability. So Kill Jaden has found its way into the game at various points since its release, in standard at least.
Okay, I mean I could see that. I mean in a control mirror it's fantastic, but it really depends on what demons are in rotation, what demons you have.
I would agree with that.
I mean, how am I supposed to answer this? I don't know what the demons are. If the demons are good, it's good. If the demons are bad, it's bad.
What is this? Listen, you're doing great. You're doing great. It's only the first one, right? This is just to introduce you to the game. All right, let's see this one. Well, reintroduce, I should say.
Oh my god, what is this? 125 mana? What the heck? The Ceaseless Expanse costs 1 less for each time a card was drawn, played, or destroyed. Battle cry destroy all of their minions. What the heck? How many cards get drawn, played, or destroyed? So this depends on if card generation is good, and it's Hearthstone, and card generation is pretty good. I don't know. This feels like it's way too many. 125 is like a lot. But then there's also things like Holy Wrath. What about with a Holy Wrath Paladin with the Ceaseless Expanse to 125 damage somebody?
You know what's crazy is in Wild, that's actually like a deck they had to nerf and they never touch Wild because it was actually disgusting.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be. Yeah. I mean, it's going to have some weird fringe cases, I guess. Or if people are generating enough to get it low enough, it would be crazy because it's a board wipe attached with a minion. So if you can play it, it's nuts. 125 is crazy, though. I can't imagine, even in like, control priesty sort of shenanigans, generate priest metas, I'm hard pressed to see this getting down to enough mana to be playable. 125 is crazy.
125 is a lot of mana. I would 100% agree.
Really draw? Well, it also counts for everything that gets destroyed on the field, but I'm gonna say we're not getting it cheap enough, I guess.
We're not getting it cheap enough. Okay.
I'm gonna say we're not getting it cheap enough that it's just gonna have some like fringe weird cases and not be a staple in the meta or competitive play or anything.
Okay, what about at 100 mana?
At 100 mana, that gets closer, I guess. I don't know.
You still think that's unplayable? Or I guess not played?
I think at 90 mana, good. I think at 100, it's too much.
Okay, I hate to do this to you. At 100 mana, card was nuts.
It was OP.
OP. I would call it OP. They had to nerf it to 125.
And then it became unplayable at 125?
It was still insane. It was still so good. It still ran today. It used to be a 15-15, so they decided to nerf it even more to a 10-10. And now it's still very good.
So you're able to generate enough cards to just get it out. What turn does it come out on usually?
I would say like probably 9 or 10, depending on the deck. Like
okay.
I think this is like, I 100% agree with you. When I first saw this card, I was like, there's no way this is going to get played. But it comes down way sooner than you think. Obviously, like if the game is like aggro, like this is a non-factor. But as soon as we get to the point where it's like turn 8, turn 9, like this starts to become like a reality. And
yeah, I should have guessed that when we learned the information about the previous card. They should have told me that it's kind of more of a control-y meta, I guess. Or it has been a lot.
Here's the next one.
What the heck? 5-turn clock. Well, I mean, if the other one's good. wait. But then you're not drawing a card, so you're -5 cards. I mean, if the one that turns your deck into demons is good, I have to imagine this has a chance of being good. But at the same time, the one that turns your deck into demons, at least you're playing the demons still, so that you have to choose between trading and going face. And this one, you might just be out of gas, not drawing an additional card every turn, and then. This depends on the control. There's a Warlock card, so it depends on. I mean, you could like turn into Gul'dan in the game still, right, and stuff like that.
Turn into like the Death-Knight.
Yeah.
He is not in standard. No, he's not in standard.
Okay, so you need to somehow set up some way to. I mean, Warlock as a class has some crazy board rates. They have like Doom and Twisting Nether and all that sort of stuff. They could buy some turns, but 5.
5. You think Twisting Nether's still played?
I don't know. If you're playing a control Warlock, I would have considered it, I guess. But I don't know what kind of removals in the game now. I'm going to say not played. 5 turns with not drawing a card is rough. You take fatigue damage, too.
You will take fatigue damage, absolutely.
Yeah, and you take 5 ticks of fatigue damage. This seems really hard to accomplish.
All right, let me show you one other card before we move on. Just in case this changes. This is
going to be the card that enables it.
Well, maybe. Let's see how you feel.
Oh my god.
I want you to know, I searched the entire library yesterday going like, how can I make his mind explode?
Taunt Lifesteal. This card's cost is equal to the amount of cards in your deck. That's pretty good with the other one. All right, so it's a shell, and they work together, and they're both played together in the same deck. And there's some control Warlock deck where you get to play both those cards in the same turn, set up a clock, and put a 15-15 out there. So I could see that being very powerful. Wheel of Death and this guy together, and maybe if there's some tutor that draws your highest cost card, so you can draw this guy out and then have the Wheel of Death, would be a powerful deck. I bet you these both saw play in the same deck and is some control-y Warlock deck.
All right, so you're going with this was competitively played.
Yeah, I'm locking it in as this was a played.
Okay, Wheel of Death was played with Phantom, especially because there's also a new card called the Location, which I don't know if you've seen before.
I have not. So I've seen Locations. I've not seen Forge of Wills.
Okay.
Yeah, you just play it out, you wait the 2 turns, and it does the thing at the end of the turn, right?
So what locations do is you put them on board preemptively, and when you want to use it, you can. There's just like, you can only use it every other turn. So Forge of Wills plus Phantom is 2 15-15s, and one of them has Rush, so you can actually kill a minion on board. And then you also have the Wheel of Death in the back. Wheel of Death was a surprising card because most people thought it was going to be unplayable. The thing is, when they released it, it says 5 turns, but it happens at the end of your turn. So it's actually like 4 turns.
It's actually 4.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than 5.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a lot better than 5.
About 20% better right there. It's crazy.
So they nerfed Wheel of Death to do at the start of your turn, which made it obviously a lot worse because then your opponent gets 1 extra turn to do whatever they can to win the game.
Right.
And that deck kind of fell out of favor afterwards. They also nerfed Forge of Wills to 4 mana before it rotated out. But Wheel of Death did see competitive play for a little bit there, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, it seems like they pushed it though. Like there's a card that they definitely wanted to see play when you see Phantom and you see the other one. They're both legendaries. They seem like a package.
I feel like, well, Phantom came out, I want to say about, was it a year? Maybe it was a full expansion. I don't remember. And that card was unplayable. Like no one played that card. Okay. So this was kind of the fundamental difference that it made. But honestly, it's probably just the combination.
Wait, they were in different rotations?
Different expansions.
Different expansions. Okay, but same rotation cycle.
Yeah, for a little bit,
yeah. That's always how they do it, right? They sprinkle in like the start of a deck in the first expansion of the cycle, and then the second expansion of the cycle, they add a little bit more to that archetype, and then the final expansion of the cycle, that archetype is finally finished. They usually do that with like a couple of decks in Hearthstone, or they usually.
Yeah, that is fair. They still kind of do it. I feel like maybe it's not as intentional. One of the biggest differences they do now is I feel like a lot of the expansions have packages in them rather than I want to give like Whispers of the Old Gods, which kind of just, well, actually Whispers is a bad example. Miniaturize of Gadgetzan, for example. Actually, that's a bad example as well. You know what? Never mind. Here's the next card. Well, if I think of an example, we'll go to it. Here's your next one.
Oh, another Reno Lone Ranger. 8-mana hero. Your deck has no duplicates. Empty the enemy board and limit it to 1 minion for a turn.
This is a hero card for all intents and purposes. I'm just not going to show you the hero power because I think it's irrelevant.
Okay, what does emptying the enemy board mean?
So that means when Reno is played, it wipes the board entirely. Do you remember there was a 10-mana Reno card from the mini set from a Descent of Dragons that just like cleared the board, but no Death Rattles procced? Yeah, it poofed.
Yeah.
That's the same concept, but then they're limited to 1 minion for the turn after. They can't just redevelop their entire board.
Pretty good. It's pretty powerful because then you just have some single target removal to pair after this. You put a restriction on your opponent to force them to have to play one big thing. They play one big thing, and then you get to kill it on the following turn. It sounds like a pretty good setup card. And if the hero power is good, even better. I mean, it's just an 8-mana better than Twisting Nether. Board wipe. I don't know, it seems like if we're playing a control deck, you'd heavily consider throwing this in there. So I think it's a good card.
Well, this would be Highlander, right? So you'd have to kind of build for it.
Right. And I don't know, Highlander has always felt like it's been very achievable in Hearthstone, at least when Reno Lock was a thing and stuff like that. And
yep.
I imagine the cards, amount of cards in Standard is around the same, right? So I imagine Highlander is still pretty achievable. I think it's good.
Okay, so Reno Lone Ranger in this current iteration was broken. Very, very powerful card. Nice. One of the biggest reasons for this was because you didn't have to start with no duplicates, right? Like you just draw through your deck. So every deck wanted to run this card because if you had enough draw, it's like 8 mana, clear the board, and then your opponent's kind of just screwed.
Oh, okay. They're not even playing it as Highlander. They're just throwing it in. No, I mean, the card seems crazy because, yeah, it puts a restriction on it clears the board, puts a restriction on your opponent, and sets you up to be able to capitalize on that restriction. It's kind of crazy.
What about at 9 mana?
It depends how fast the tempo decks are, I guess, if you're playing it against a tempo deck. Then against like a tempo deck, you have one more turn where you need to not be dead to be able to get to it. A little bit more difficult, but I imagine it's still pretty good.
Okay, great thinking. It was very good at 9 mana. What about 10?
Yeah, I would still say it's probably pretty good at 10.
You're absolutely correct. It was very still good at 10.
I mean, it's good for 2 turns. It's good the turn you play it, and it's good the next turn. That's crazy.
Okay, what about if they made it so if your deck started with no duplicates, so you couldn't run it anything?
Wait, what do you mean? So you have to have like the no duplicates from the beginning?
You have to have Highlander from the very beginning, yeah. So now you can't just slot it into anything.
I mean, that's going to make it less viable because it was seeing play. It's going to no longer see play in that situation where you're describing earlier, where people are just playing card draw. But in the Highlander decks that existed, they'd still play it. So I'd say it's still pretty good, just less flexible.
Okay. Now, what if it was also nerfed one more time, but instead of reducing your opponent's board to 1, it just removed the board the turn it was played?
Oh, so it loses that second effect where they can play as many minions as they want. I mean, it's still pretty good because it's a poof, and death rattles are crazy in this game. but it's a lot less good because you don't get the second turn. It's like way worse, but you probably still put it in the control decks that want a board wipe.
Yeah, I think at that point, because I think it was 10 mana and they got rid of the second effect, it was a lot less played. Good. But it was nerfed like 4 times in like a year. Like it was consistently just always played. Very, very good card. Okay.
I mean, if you get to chain tempo for 2 turns, you're just gonna run away with the game. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, dude, I think like you probably remember, people would complain about a lot of stuff back in the day. This card, as far as I remember, I think was the most complained card I've ever seen in my life.
Because you just play it and win.
I guess that's fair.
You play it, you gain the tempo, it forces them to play a big thing, remove their big thing, and then play your big thing, and you win. You just instantly flip the whole game on its head.
Yeah, it was absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Okay, here is the next. I'm really hoping you haven't seen this card.
No, I don't think I've seen this actually. What is the one I'm thinking? I'm thinking of actually the 5-mana 5/5 or something that adds 10 legendaries.
Oh, you're thinking Prince Malchezaar from
I'm
Karazhan.
thinking Prince Malchezaar.
That's what
I'm
you're
thinking of a different
of.
prince.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay, this is a new prince. He's a spider tank. Your deck size and starting health are 40. And this is does this start at the beginning of the game, or do you have to play him for this?
No, so you in deck building will put this card into your deck, and now you have
and then you get to put 40 cards, okay.
Yeah, now you have to have 40 cards in your deck, Then you get 40 health.
And you get 40 health. Oh, so it's 10 health worth having to play 10 more cards in a game that is heavily combo-centric and usually card draw is king. I'm going to say that this card... Also, in a control mirror, though, if you're playing a control deck... Also, we just saw like a bunch of control cards that eliminate fatigue as a consequence. And I feel like the Hearthstone dev team for a long time was trying to like get rid of fatigue and stuff like that and make sure the control decks have real win cons other than fatigue. Because like early Hearthstone, we'd have like the control warrior mirrors where it's like you try and line up all your threats against their threats and your removal against their removal and then win by having one more threat than them at the end of the game and then fatigue them.
Yep.
But then... we started to have real win conditions. In a world where there's not real win conditions, having 40 cards and your opponent having 30 cards is a real win condition. But I think most of the classes in Hearthstone have real win conditions. So 40 cards isn't a big deal when they're playing things that like end the game in 5 turns or stuff like that in the control mirrors. So I'm going to say it did not see play, or it was not good.
I would say this card might have been the most defining card in the last 5 years of Hearthstone.
Oh my god.
It turned out that having 40 life was so important to a lot of games because it gave you that extra turn that you were able to turn the corner. And obviously, yeah, you're right with combo decks, but even then, like if you're going up against the combo deck, now they need 10 additional damage to win the game.
10 health is a big deal.
So most of the classes in the game were doing something with Prince Renathal because it was just on average more beneficial, even though you had 10 extra cards in your deck. And because of the amount of card draw in this game, the 10 cards did not feel nearly as bad to add in your deck. So they ended up nerfing it. They ended up nerfing it to your deck size is 40 and your starting health is 35. Do you think it's still solid play?
Oh, I was already sketchy at 40, so I'm gonna say 5 health is a huge nerf because then the aggro decks can sort of kill you, right? Or the tempo decks.
It was still played at 35 health.
It was still played at 35. Would it be played at 30 health? You think?
No, because now you're just running a
so
3
it is the health is one of the biggest parts still, but there's just the card pool is so big and there's so many good options that. Here cards is not that bad.
I'll give you a concept of how many cards we have currently in the standard format. There are roughly about 1,400 cards.
In standard?
In standard, yeah, because now what happens
is
because
there's extra classes,
extra classes. Now they do a mini set for every single expansion. So now it's like I don't know how many cards, like 165, 160 per expansion, and then they add additional 35 cards every single set. So there's a lot more given to the game. And obviously that means that you have a lot more options and the card draw is better, and then it goes from there. So Renathal was just kind of like really, really good card. Very defining. I would say it's like on par with Reno Jackson was when he first came out. Like everyone wanted to play this card. They ended up
and it was for the health more so than the extra cards.
Yeah, absolutely for the health. Absolutely for the health.
Okay,
yeah, I think if it was like your starting health is at 40, the card would be like maybe the best card of all time.
It's crazy.
Yeah, very competitive, good card. It was actually insane. Okay, I'm gonna introduce you to a brand new mechanic. This was called Colossal. What Colossal means is when you put this minion on the board, it summons all of its appendages, which you'll see visually right now.
Okay. After a friendly minion dies, gain its original stats. And does every part of the creature gain the stats, or just the
just the big one? So yeah, when Glugg is played, you get all his tails, and whenever any minion dies, only Glugg will get its original stats. So meaning if you get like a buff on a minion or something, it does not count. It would just get whatever the actual baseline stats are.
So when the 2/2 of its tail dies, it gets +2/+2.
Yes.
And the tails are protecting it already. And it's 3 taunts to get through. So you can just slam this down on your board on 7 against the tempo deck, and they have to get through 3 taunts before they can go face. And they probably have to have some single target removal for the 3/5 if they want to just plow through all these taunts all willy-nilly. This card seems good.
Glugg was competitively played, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think something that makes 3 taunts is good.
Yeah, unfortunately, Glugg was unplayable.
Oh my god. Historically, things that make taunts have been pretty good.
Yeah, so I think in early Hearthstone, this card would have been an absolute menace to deal with, because you're absolutely right. You'd have to get through the taunts. Removal has just gotten a lot better in the game. So if you're playing 7 mana for Glugg, they would just be like, okay, Glugg's gone now, and then I'm just gonna go face. Because
they just kill it with 1 card? They can kill all.
Well, I mean, even in older Hearthstone, right? Like Flame Strike did 4 damage to everything. Now it does 5 for the record. They buffed it to 5, and it doesn't see any play. So cards like that exist where it's like whatever. Also, if you're not going up against like a board-centric deck, this card just gets removed, and there's not even a problem. You just wasted 7 mana. Here's your next one. Infuse means while this card is in your hand, if a friendly minion dies, the infuse procs.
Okay, and it's a 10 mana 10/10. Lifesteal, Battlecry, deal 5 damage amongst enemies, deal 1 more. And we can endlessly infuse them. Eventually, it just gets to the point where this does the entire opponent's life total, and you play it and you kill them, or it does enough to where it can hopefully clear the board. And it's amongst enemies, so it can hit face, which is kind of bad. You kind of want it not to hit face, so you could use it as a board wipe, but I mean, it can also be an upside to hit face if it gets big enough. An interesting win condition. Neutral. A lot of things would have to die. I would put this in a Deck Doctor deck probably, but I don't know if it's in a real deck. The lifesteal is really good on it too, because it's so swingy. And there's the things that can like give things rush and whatnot from those locations, so you could rush a 10/10 lifesteal.
Yeah, you could, yep.
You're agreeing with me to try and bait me into saying it's good because it's bad. But I think there's potential here. It's got a lot of good juicy keywords and a lot of potential, but I hate paying 10 mana for things. Fair. So I'm gonna say it's good. Screw it. Let's take a jump.
Okay, I can't tell if you're actually thinking it is good or you're just contradicting or based on how I reacted to you, but Sire Denathrius ended up being the best card of the set.
Nice.
And this card, well, other than Renathal,
it has a lot of potential depending on what shell it has to work with and what people are playing. Because lifesteal is crazy. Lifesteal on big stats is insane, and lifesteal on Battlecry is insane. It's just like 10 mana.
This card was like if you opened with it and your opponent didn't, you just kind of won the game on the spot. It would just scale out of control. Also, for that core set they brought back Bran. And I don't know if you remember.
You could double it?
You could double
my
it.
God.
Yeah, so cards like that are like when you get double the Sire Denathrius Battlecry and you get the tempo swing and you get the life gain, like all of a sudden the game is just won. And
it's just over. It's just
they had to nerf it to endlessly infuse 2, so you needed 2 minions to die, and that was a dramatic enough nerf where the card saw significantly less play, which was probably for the best. Yeah, it definitely saw a lot less. But then the conversation is, and this is also maybe one of the reasons why they nerfed Prince Renathal, is like, do you want a neutral win condition to see play in every single deck? Probably not, because then most of the games feel very samey. So they they obviously ended up nerfing it. I agree with
that design. I like it when the win conditions are class specific and the classes play in different styles. That's like the best if you can get that.
I would not recommend currently playing the games if that's what you're interested in.
People in my chat said it's a 1-card meta right now, and I don't know what that means.
There's a card.
I guess there's one card that's really good.
Here, I'll show you. I wasn't going to show you the card because it's a lot, but it's very reminiscent of a card called Kazakus, which you probably remember from Mean Streets. Elise the Navigator. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and read it, I'll describe what it does.
Deck started with 10 cards of different costs. Craft a custom location. What does craft a custom location mean?
So do you remember Kazakis, which was like the 4-mana 3/3 from Miniaturize of Gadgeon, where you basically craft a custom potion if your deck was Highlander?
Oh, yeah,
So
that card was sick.
That card was sick, right? So Elise the Navigator is in the same vein as that, but you get a location which is infinitely more powerful because now you get 3 uses of it and you get to pick up what the location does. So for example, there's like 5 mana summon 3 2/1s with rush and give it +4 damage or +2 damage, right? And then all of a sudden you have a board clear every other turn. So playing Elise on curve is like winning the game. It also has, maybe this is the bigger one, is summon a copy of a minion. So if you have a really good effect and you have that already on board, then all of a sudden you doubling every single really powerful effect other than a battle cry. And that often just wins the game on the spot because then your combos become infinitely stronger. So having Elise on turn 4 usually means you're winning the game in this case.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
It's a neutral tempo
it's pretty good.
That ends the game pretty early then.
We'll there is a mini set today. We'll see if it impacts the game in a positive way. I still think Elise is going to be very good, but we'll see what happens. And then rotation also happens at the end of this year, but she's still in it. So again, we'll have to wait and see how the game plays out. But you know, I'm excited. Okay, so I'm going to show you a card from United and Stormwind. Just tell me if you've seen this, because if you have not seen, I absolutely have to show this to you.
Okay. I don't think I've seen this.
Okay. I'm going to describe what a quest line is. You remember what a quest is from Angoro, where it's like you at the start of the game, you have it in your opening hand, you play it, and then you basically play towards that win condition, or I guess the reward. A quest line means it's the same kind of concept, but there's incremental steps in between. So rather than getting the reward immediately, you move on to the next step of the quest line from the Demon Seed, which I will show you. I will show you all the pieces to it.
Right. So you have to take 6 damage on your turns, and then you get another quest. Would you get the reward from this one, and then another quest happens, and it has a different reward?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Demon Seed, take 6 damage on your turns, which is Warlock. Pretty easy to do with life taps. He's just like 3 life taps, or like playing a Flame Imp or something. Reward, Lifesteal, deal 3 damage to the enemy hero. So then you heal 3 life and deal 3 life to them. So you get your 6 back. So you're net neutral there, kind of. Take 7 damage on your turns. Reward, deal 3 damage to the enemy hero. Oh, now it's a worse version of the same thing. And then take 8 damage on your turns and reward Blightborn Tamsin. And what is that? 5 mana, 7/7 for the rest of the game. Damage you take on your turn damages your and then you kill them.
That's the end goal. I will say fatigue does count towards that battle cry.
Okay, wow, we get to that point?
Well, what do you think?
So then you burn your own deck and fatigue yourself with that other card from earlier?
They were in different rotations, unfortunately, but the idea is kind of the same thing, yeah.
This seems like a lot of work. It depends what self-damage cards are in rotation, I guess. Because like if there's good self-damage cards in rotation, then maybe you want to build around this. But if there's not good self-damage cards in rotation, you're not building around this.
I will say, just for context for you, there are enough self-damage cards because they printed this kind of like a package, and Flame Imp was still in the game. Right. There's stuff to support this archetype if you want to.
Yeah, but you don't want to play Flame Imp with this.
I don't know, do you?
Oh, apparently you do, I guess. So it's a tempo thing? I mean, it does deal damage to the enemy hero. Okay. Wait, we're playing zoo with this? No, you can't. You don't have enough cards, right? I mean, it's a 5 mana 7. Can you unlock it by turn 5 with Flame Imps and stuff?
That's a good question.
Because if you play this turn 1, and missing a 1-drop feels really sad in your tempo deck. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't want to start a quest in my tempo deck. I want to get control of the board. So I think it's gonna need some good support to see play. I think it did not see play.
Okay, do you know anything about United and Stormwind?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm gonna give you my perspective of the set, kind of give you some context. United in Stormwind was the fastest set Hearthstone has ever seen. It was
and it's good.
So
I guess you're trying to lean me that way, right? There must have been a lot of tempo-y self-damage minions that crushed.
I'm gonna say this because what ended up happening in Stormwind was the board was irrelevant. What ended up happening was basically whoever completed their questline first, for better or worse. Not every deck played a questline. There was other ways to kill your opponent, but it was like if you don't achieve your win condition by turn 5, the game's over. Like that's what it honestly felt like. It took a substantial amount of nerfs throughout that entire set to basically put the game back to what it was preemptively before United and Stormwind. The Demon Seed ended up being arguably the best card from the set.
Get He's unfortunate.
Because, well,
From
I'm
what
trying
it
to.
sounds like. So you're just solo unlocking quests against each other, and whoever does it first wins with limited player-to-player
It
interaction.
legitimately felt like a single-player game. And it was very, again, if you're someone who's very combo oriented, you would have probably loved this set, but I don't think you are. So I don't know how you would have felt about it. Me personally, like, this is my least favorite set of all time.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't like. Maybe I play card games for the player-to-player interaction, and I'm usually more of a tempo board control-y
You would have
guy.
hated this set. This is the set that made me kind of like contemplate, do I want to continue playing this game? Like, I'm gonna show you a card. I can't find the unnerfed version, but this is Stealer of Souls. It was released in the mini set of Forge and the Baron, so I don't know if you saw it. But it used to say every card you draw costs health instead of mana this turn. And what would end up happening, what would end up happening is you would play this, draw through basically your entire deck, play Temzit, and continue to draw and win the game.
Abby, this card makes the whole quest thing very, very much so worth it, because now you're proccing your quest basically for free and tempoing out something. This card's insane. Yeah,
it was quite the great experience, I'm gonna put it. They nerfed the Demon Seed like 4 times, and
they should have nerfed this guy. What do you mean? Why are they nerfing the Demon Seed?
They ended up nerfing Stealer of Souls as well, because they changed it to the first card you draw. But like, even with that nerf, there are other cards that enabled the Demon Seed quite quickly. That ended up being like a really unfortunate metagame, because it's like, can you beat the Demon Seed? If you can't, the game's over, because they have even better inevitability than I showed you with Kill Jaden, right? Because they just kill you with fatigue. I'm going to introduce you to another mechanic, and this is called Fabled. What Fabled means is when you put this card in your deck, you auto include the 2 other cards related to it. So for example, when you put, I'm going to just walk you through this before you can read the cards. When you put Garona in your deck, she's the Fabled legendary. By adding her into the deck, you get the Kingslayer and you get King Lane automatically in your deck.
So, okay, so you put Garona in your deck, and then it adds King Lane into your opponent's deck, and then you play Garona when you think King Lane is in their hand to...
Exactly.
Okay. And they have King Lane in their hand a lot because they don't want to spend 3 mana to do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. And you also get this little weapon. It is a Fiery War Axe. It draws a card. It sometimes draws... King Lane's not a legendary, though.
He is a legendary. Yes.
Oh, okay. So it sometimes makes them draw King Lane. You gotta play a format. You don't even really have to play this until it hits. Yeah, this seems like it's probably pretty good. I don't know. It interrupts their deck. Adds a mid-ish card to your deck. I could see this being... Oh, it's Rogue only, though.
It's Rogue only, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good effect in Rogue. Depends what kind of control tools Rogue has achieved. Because Rogue usually is dealing damage to the opponent. This would be good if like you're waiting for like a big final burst at the end, I guess, which Rogue can kind of do. Okay. But Rogue doesn't traditionally have the best board control-y tools to get to that late stage where you can kind of guarantee the King Lanes in their hand. Then I would say... Yeah, if Rogue doesn't have good board control tools, then I'm going to say it's bad. Because it's like a really heavy control card is what I'm envisioning.
Okay. So you're going with this card's not playable.
I'm going to go with people have tried to play it, but it has never been that good.
Okay, so that's actually... Okay, I'm going to give you some credit for that, but for the wrong reasons. Garona, the benefit of Garona is, well, you're including a 4-mana 5/4 into your deck, which obviously isn't great. If you don't get the battle cry, it's a pretty underwhelming card. The benefit is, with King Lane, you're starting off now with a 29 card deck rather than 30. And you're making your opponent's deck 31 because you're adding an additional card to their deck.
Wait. Isn't it 30 because you get your Kingslayers in your deck?
Well, it's 30 with Kingslayer and King Lane, but when the game starts...
you go to 29. Okay. I thought the Fableds were added into... Like, I thought you had your 30-card deck and you just put Garona in the builder. And then when the game started, you got the Kingslayers and they got Lane, and you'd still have 30 cards.
So the way it interacts is when you put the Fabled card into your deck, you get these 2 cards in your deck. Those both count as individual cards, so that's 3 out of 30. And then if you take Garona out, you don't get the Kingslayer and Lane. They're both taken out as well. And then at the start of the game, it shuffles King Lane into their deck. So now you have a 29 card deck. The other benefit is the Kingslayers, as much as it benefits your opponent because potentially they don't draw King Lane and they just draw another legendary.
You're putting in good legendaries that you're built around. And
exactly.
playing around this effect, and they're not.
Exactly. So Garona is not really like the focal point of this. Obviously, if you do hit it, and when you do hit it is the greatest feeling in the world. But for the most part, you're basically putting this in so your opponent has a bad draw consistently, and you're drawing the cards that you're looking for. And Rogue has 2 particular legendaries that they really like. So putting this card into your deck and drawing it means that you're consistently drawing the cards you want, which means it is a pretty good card in Rogue. Is it the best card that Rogue's ever received? No, but like it did see quite a bit of play.
That makes sense. That makes sense, especially with the whole thing where they count as cards in your deck, all 3 of them, and then does the thing where you only have the 29 cards.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Sorry if I didn't explain that well enough at the start.
I just thought it was gonna be like the other one where it just like adds it at the start of the game or something. I don't know. Because that's how they used to do cards like that.
Well, you're thinking like Prince Malchezaar. Okay.
Yeah. I'm thinking of like that.
Malchezaar.
I thought Fabled was like Prince Malchezaar.
No. Did you like Prince Malchezaar? I feel like he was unplayable, wasn't he? I can't remember.
He was pretty unplayable.
He was pretty unplayable. Okay, here's another card.
Odyn Prime Designate. 8 mana, 8/8. Battlecry for the rest of the game. After your hero gains armor, they gain that much attack for that turn. For the rest of the game?
The rest of the game.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's good. Good card.
You think Warrior has enough armor gain tools for this to be worth it?
There's been points where Warriors had enough armor gain tools for that to be worth it. I don't know currently, but typically Warrior's pretty armor centric. It's like his whole shtick. So I would say more than likely they got enough right now. Yeah,
you're absolutely correct. Odyn ended up being a lot better than people anticipated. One of the reasons for that was there was another card that allowed you to get a Wind Fury weapon. So obviously, if you got an insane amount of armor and you get to attack twice, the game is just kind of over. Odyn ended up getting nerfed to 9 mana, and at that point, it was a little bit more sketchy because like that 1 extra turn is such a big deal when it comes to comboing your opponent that you might just lose. But yeah, Odyn ended up being like a really, really good card.
It doesn't do much the turn you play it, so taking 9 is rough.
Yeah. What about this one?
At the start of your next turn, set this minion's attack to infinity. 9 mana, 8/8. So we have to do something that locks them out and then play this. The neutral. Can we play this and lock them out in the same turn? If you're just a head on board, it could be kind of cool. Seems like this is not going to be good. Neutral, if it was good, it would be in every deck. I don't know, maybe there's only specific classes that can lock an opponent out for a turn. They've had cards in the past like Lotheb and Lotheb style effects that when paired with this could potentially be good. Maybe there's a location that does a Lotheb style effect that would be paired with this that could be good. I don't think this is gonna see play because it's neutral. They don't want to make neutral win conditions. There's no Lotheb effects. It's gonna be hard to make this stick. It's just an 8/8.
Oh, Firebat, I hate to do this too.
Oh my god, there's ways to make it stick.
Well, it's not about making it stick and or stopping your opponent from playing the game. What if you got an extra turn?
Oh, okay. That's a way to do it.
There's two ways of doing it. I'll show you the Warrior one first. Not the last set, the set before that. They did Ungoro too, and Warrior ended up getting Enter the Lost City. You don't have to read it. I'm just going to explain it to you. The reward is you have to survive 10 turns, which is obviously quite a substantial amount. But if you do survive 10 turns, you get the excellent reward of this guy right here. He is basically a 5 mana 8/8 that gives you every single quest reward from Ungoro. So you remember the mage one, Time Warp.
Oh my goodness.
So now you might be thinking to yourself, wait, Time Warp is 5 mana, right?
Yeah.
How am I able to get to 15 mana to play my Murozond and my Murozond, right? There's just no way. Well, oh my god, the Hearthstone team thought of that as well. There's this card. They added this card, which is Yserald Emerald Aspect. This is how crazy the game has gone, by the way, in case you're curious. It says start a game, increase both players' maximum mana by 5. So now there's a neutral way of getting all the way up to 15 mana, which is awesome. So now you can go Murozond into Time Warp and the game is over. Isn't that awesome? Wow. Love Hearthstone.
Oh, it's kind of crazy that that's possible. That's a lot of cool little pieces coming together. But yeah, instantly killing them.
It's I don't know how people feel about it. There's also a priest version of this, which is it's called Zarimi, and that card just requires you to play enough dragons and then you get an extra turn. And obviously the interaction with Ysera is the exact same thing. Now, I'm not sitting here and telling you that Murozond's the greatest card of all time, but it did see play competitively. because of this interaction. Because in control mirror matches or just in general, if I survive long enough, this is inevitable and you'll lose.
Bro, control mirror matches in modern Hearthstone tournaments sound like they get kind of wild. Again.
All right, wow, I think you actually got it first try. You're crazy.
The next card you play costs your opponent's health instead of mana. Holy. The delayed effect, but powerful one. I don't know. It seems we get to burst them for 10 and maybe more if we have some big burst spell that does some amount of damage face. I don't think this is going to be good. It's too much delayed gratification, I think. But I could definitely see certain combos where it could do something quite powerful where you just one-shot them on your next turn.
Okay, so you're going with this card was not played.
I'm going to go with not played.
You're absolutely correct. This card has, like you said, I think if like you can reduce the cost of it before you play it, all of a sudden this card becomes a lot better. It just has, I mean, it's probably for the best this card isn't playable. I feel like this is one of those cases where it's like, if it is good, do we want it to be good? I don't know. I don't think so. This is the last card I'm going to show you. Miniaturize is when you play the original dude, you get a 1 mana cost in your hand with the exact same effect. That's a 1.
Oh, wow. I mean, this probably saw play then. I feel like this on a 1/1, this battle cry is crazy. Not being able to damage the enemy hero is a bummer, but you could just print value or clear the board or buff something to the moon. Because like a battle cry could be a buff. You could be like giving something +4/+4 3 times, and there's a 12 damage burst or something crazy. And a 6 mana 5/5 that's tripling a battle cry is not even that bad. I think this card's good.
This card actually took a little bit to find play.
Really?
Like, it's weird because the card isn't necessarily bad, but it's more like you need to, at the tempo loss, you need to recover in quite a way. So what ended up being the real combination here is with this card, which is Hearthstone the Fabled, which draws 2 spells that cost 5 or more, and it transforms them into a Battlecry minion. So with enough good spells afterwards, that combination ended up being insanely powerful, and that is one of the best decks currently in Standard. But yeah, that's Hearthstone.
Hearthstone sounds crazy. A lot has changed.
Thank you for joining. I don't know if you want to shout out your like Twitch. I don't know how often you're going to be streaming, but you can say whatever you want to say here if you want to.
Yeah, I stream on twitch.tv/Firebat. I haven't checked out Hearthstone yet, clearly, by how I got almost all the cards wrong. But I might check it out. It sounds kind of cool, honestly. A lot of people have been telling me horror stories, but actually looking at the cards and stuff like that, it looks like you can do a lot of cooking.
You can do a lot of cooking.
Might do some Hearthstone cooking and see how far that goes till I get one-shot OTK'd enough to quit. But it seems like it could be fun for like a couple days at least.